Hello, welcome to Gojenn podcast. Today is July 5th and this is episode 23. Yay, I rattled that off without even having to think about it. That's good. Yes, because yesterday was my mom's birthday. We had a really good time in honor of her birthday. The local rec department has an annual 5K race. It may not be for her birthday. There's some holiday around this time of year, but I always think it's for her birthday on July 4th. So for that race, it was a trail race. So it was up the side of a hill and off into the woods, and it has rained off and on for the past 2 or 3 days. So I was expecting the trail to be muddy and icky. But my mom, it was her 80th birthday yesterday, and my sister, who is younger than me, and then my daughter, all ran the 5K trail race together yesterday. And they all placed in their age groups, either second or third. Mind-boggling. So it was a lot of fun to go out for that after a heat wave we've had here. It was a nice, cool, about 75 degrees instead of being 90. So it was really good for them to have good weather while they were running. So that was a lot of fun. And I had to come home and take a nap. Man, I was bushed. Okay, that's not my thing. It's really not. It's my mom, my sister, and my daughter. So that's good for them. I'm happy for them. Seriously, after the race, I had to come home and spin because, yesterday, July 4th, was the beginning of the Tour de Fleece. And my goal from July 4th to July 26th is to spin at least, I think I'm saying 15 minutes in case of emergency day and I really don't have time. But anytime I sit down to my wheel, an hour goes by effortlessly. It takes me a little while to get into the rhythm of it, and then I'm off in spin land, and it's just wonderful. So that I did that yesterday. I spun for about an hour and 40 minutes, so I'm going to keep up with my time that I do spin for the Tour de Fleece. So I was very excited for that, and of course we had a day off Friday for the holiday, and it's always wonderful. There's the only thing better than a 3-day weekend is a 4-day weekend, or 5, or 6, or even more. I've worked with a lady who's retiring the end of July, and I'm very envious. I would like to do that. If you ask me what I want to do when I grow up, I'd like to be retired. It works. My mom and dad are enjoying themselves, and that makes me really happy too. During this week, we had the 1st of July. So that's a new month of challenges that come out for the Harry Potter Knitting and Crochet group on Ravelry. And with the idea of the Tour de Fleece being to spin as much as possible, I don't want to take time away from my spinning to try to make something else. So I have figured out how to spin different things for the month of July for all of my Harry Potter House Cup classes, my homework, air quotes. So all I have to do is just spin like the wind, and I am really enjoying it. So right here, I will insert a picture of what I spun last night, because it's still, of course, on the bobbin. And then I will also put in a picture of what I have planned. So that's going to go right here, okay? so that, you know, I can take the section I usually use at the end of the podcast where I go, my plan is to spin. Spin, spin, spin. In addition to my spinning, this month both the pair of socks that I was doing for my owl and the Jordan lace top that I'm doing for my owl. The socks are for my Phoenix for Harry Potter. I'm sorry. My brain is not engaged apparently. So I have been working on my lace top. I've lost track of which ball of yarn I'm on because it takes so long to do one time around that it almost is seeming like it is taking a ball of yarn to go around. It's getting to where it's taking a ball of yarn to do, I don't know, a repeat of the pineapple pattern. And you can see that this is really coming along. I'm very happy with it. The length is going to be good. I'm not going to have to add any motifs to the length to make it fit me, even though I do have a long torso. This is going to fit me just fine through the pattern. And I think I have about 1.5 more pineapples to go. Maybe this much. My head. And I'm very happy with it. It's easy to knit. I mean, no, it's not. I apologize. I don't know what I'm doing apparently. It's easy to crochet. Crochet lace I find very easy because the main component of crocheted lace is the chain stitch, and there's nothing easier than a crochet chain. You just have to make sure you're at the right place in your pattern. And once I made my big boo-boo in the beginning and had to rip all of it back and redo it, of course I got a lot of practice with it, so now I really know how that is supposed to go. When I'm on the row with 3 chains here, I'm on the row with 3 things here, and it's working out pretty well. So my plan is to spin and finish my Jordan top. Probably not this week, but I will finish it by the end of July. That leaves the socks, the Phoenix socks. And I regret to inform you that I've chickened out of doing the second sock. I had a couple of options. Since the first sock is already made, except for the afterthought heel, I could go ahead, and it's too small. I mean, it's very, very tight on my hand, and I couldn't even get it on my foot. So my options are to make the second sock in a size that would hopefully fit me. And then I would only have to make one more sock to make a pair that would fit. And I could go ahead and turn in the 2 socks for my Phoenix. I could do that. Or I could make another small sock that's the size of the one I made and just give them away. Find somebody with a much smaller foot than me. And I could do that. And I may do either one of those at a later date. But for the purpose of my Phoenix, the Order of the Phoenix in Harry Potter, and for my challenge, it is due July 19th. And if I'm going to spin as much as I want to spin, and if I'm going to finish my owl top, my crochet lace top, I don't want to put the time in on the sock that I don't love anymore, because it's no way it's ever going to fit me unless something really horrible happens, and I don't even want to think about that. It's not worth having a sock that fits. So I have decided not to worry about the Phoenix. I'm going to just send in my sorrowful note that I have given up. And that's okay. I don't mind, because, again, these are all imaginary challenges. Nobody's making me do it but me. So it's a goal that I'm setting myself. I can try again. I don't really mind. I think I would choose a different yarn. The Cyborg's Craft Room is the maker of the yarn I've been using, and that was not a really stretchy yarn. So I may need to choose more carefully the next time I try to have a pair of knit socks. It just may not be in the cards for me. We'll have to see. I do have some stash enhancement to show you. And this is the third braid that I am getting from Hey Lady Hey Fiber. And she's located in Durham, North Carolina. This is about 3 ounces, I think, of 100% Targhee fiber. And I like it. I mean, of course, it arrived too late to be considered for the spin marathon. I could change my mind, though. You know, it's nothing set in stone because it's all made up in my mind. But I have, I showed you the picture of what I have planned for all of the challenges. So that's what I'm going to be doing, is trying to spin that yarn. I'm not going to necessarily worry about plying the yarn. I may just do that after the Tour de Fleece. I'm going to see how my time goes. I am going to just see how much I can spend this month. And I think it would be really interesting to find out. There's another online event in October that is not limited to the Ravelry people. It's called Spinzilla. And that happens in October. And that is a true competition. So I think it would be a good idea for me to see what I can do during the Tour de Fleece to see what I may be capable of for Spinzilla. So this braid is the extent of my stash enhancement. I don't have any finished objects because all I'm going to do is spin and work on my lace top. I do have a travel bag that I have gotten ready to be able to take with me to work because I usually have some time for crafting at work. So I've gotten my spindle out. Remember my spindle? And I have these lovely Rolags from Naturally Knitty that it's my goal to spin all of these up this month too. I just think they're so beautiful. But I really think they look like dreads. So, which I didn't realize that dreads are actually crocheted onto people's heads. Were you aware of that? Because I was saying, boy, they look like dreads. And somebody told me, well, how do you think they attach the dreads? They crochet them in. I didn't know that. I don't know. I don't think so. I think I'll stick with this spinning. So I've got my spindle so that I can work on the go. And spindling is so easy to just pick up if you have 2 minutes or 5 minutes or an hour. But if I have time like that at home, I'm going to definitely get out the Ashcroft Kiwi 2 spinning wheel. Her name is Gertie. And spin up some fiber into yarn that way. The only other thing that I really wanted to make sure I talked to y'all about this week was that I did upload a planner video, and it's just one of my slideshows. And it's about my planner that I am starting to use for the month of July, which I'm not going to just use it for July and then throw it away or anything like that. But I am going to participate in some of the challenges that are online. Things like journaling prompts and keeping my planning up to date. And I'm going to try to participate in a little bit of an art challenge. Lister's got a list. And so isn't that just cute? But to give the creative part of me a little something else to do. Excuse me. I was talking to my sister, and she's always been the artist in our family. To me, I've just always been in awe that she can just draw things. I've never had that talent. And so I was telling her how I envied her artistic talent, and she said, well, you know, you create art with your fiber and your yarn and your knitting and crochet, and that's really nice of her to say, and I appreciate it. But it would be nice if I could, you know, make something that made me happy artistically, okay, which is, I'm not expecting to be Rembrandt or any of that, but I just thought it would be nice if I could draw something that made me have some fun. So I have started trying to do something called Zentangle, Zentangle, and it's just a method of mindful doodling, and there's all kinds of patterns that you can use to fill up your little doodle spaces, and so I'm trying to do that to help calm my mind, and especially, you know, like right before I go to bed, not to be trying to work a puzzle. If I try to work a puzzle and then go to bed, I'm laying in bed going, what is the four-letter word for whatever? So that drives me crazy, and doesn't take much. But so I'm trying to do my Zentangles in my journaling, and I'm not spending hours or hundreds of dollars even for that matter, because if you go to YouTube and search for planner videos, there are just hundreds, maybe thousands of planner videos about people and how they set up their journal for the month, to, you know, try to give other people a sense of what works for them, so maybe it'll work for somebody else. And some people have got dozens of journals that they just collect. Like I collect and stash my yarn and fiber. Okay, they're collecting and stashing journals. So I can't say anything about that, except that my yarn is significantly cheaper, even the expensive stuff that I have. So anyway, that is out there on my YouTube channel. It is called Gojenn Planner 1. It's just a short, like 10-minute slideshow, and of me just telling how I am planning to use my planner. And I think I might do that on a semi-regular basis. So if you see a podcast or if you see something on my channel that says planner, you can know that it's not necessarily about my crafting at all. I will tell you if I'm going to do one that goes into more depth about my crafting. And I think I may need to, because one of the really good things about having my planner is that it tells me what I'm missing planning for. And by that I mean I want somewhere that I can kind of check off. Did you remember to do this today? Did you remember to spin today? Did you remember to I want to try to post a photo to Instagram every day. So did I do that? Did I remember to do a podcast this week? Did I remember to try a new Zentangle because I'd like to try a new pattern every day. So that's the kind of thing. I know I want to somehow keep up with that, and that is simmering somewhere in my brain, because ideas will almost come to the front of my brain, or wherever, and I can hear the clear idea, but it's not there yet. It's still simmering, so that's fine. I like it when ideas percolate in my mind, and then I will try to go ahead and follow through with everything. I do appreciate all of you that have watched my videos, and I hope you will subscribe and give me a thumbs up, and suggest my podcast to other people if you want to. This week, I understand it's not a whole lot happening because spinning. So I just wanted to make sure that you know that I'm here for you. If you have questions you want to ask me, please comment in the comments below in YouTube, or come to our Ravelry group. If you're at all interested in checking out my video about my planner, please give that a watch. Like I said, it's about a 10-minute slideshow, and I don't know. I'm just doing things. It's like my grandson said, "What are you scared of, Grammy?" Right on. All right. Thank you for joining me today. I appreciate you watching. Like, subscribe, tell your friends, and to each and every one of you, I wish you a week filled with lots and lots of love and laughter. See you next week.